What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Average Joe Investor channel. My name is Joe, and in this video here, you're gonna see my face again for the first time in a while. No, it wasn't because I was trying to grow a beard, which takes me a really long time to do. It's just really easy and convenient to not have to worry about lighting and things like that when you got 4 kids and you're working and you got all this stuff going on. But point is, enough people said, hey, you gotta jump in front of the camera again, so here I am. One of the big things I stress on my channel is being very straightforward, very transparent with not only my holdings in my portfolio, but also when I make mistakes and the fact that I'm always open for feedback. So in this video, guys, I'm being very transparent with what I feel was a mistake in adding a specific dividend stock to my portfolio. In this video, I'm going to share with you what that dividend stock was, what I'm doing with it as a result of my decision, and then I'm going to share with you guys which stock I'm going to be adding to the portfolio to replace it and why I think it's a great dividend stock. You guys know I never want to waste your time, and I always want to add massive value to your lives whenever possible when it comes to your investments. So without further delay, let's get started. Hey guys, Joe here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button below the video to make sure you don't miss any of my future videos. And if you do click that subscribe button, make sure to leave me a comment below saying you subscribed, and I promise to personally respond to your comment. So about a month or two ago, I had a dividend stock in my portfolio and I was actually selling covered calls against that stock. And that covered call did get exercised and that stock was called away from me. And I went over with you guys why I wasn't gonna buy back into that dividend stock and that I was gonna replace it with a new one. And if you remember correctly, that dividend stock that I bought into was PetMed Express, ticker symbol PETS. And as you can see here right on the screen, the dividend metrics are still really strong with pets. It's a dividend contender. It's got 12 consecutive years of raising their dividend every single year. It's got green dividend growth rates. The 1, 3, 5, and 10-year growth rates were at, for the 3 years, 6.2, then 9.4, 8.8, and a dividend yield currently of 4.52%. And from a dividend safety standpoint, their payout ratio based on free cash flow over the trailing 12 months was only 50%. So you must be thinking to yourself, hey Joe, this meets all of your dividend criteria. Why on earth are you concerned that buying this dividend stock was a mistake? That's a great question. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Yes, the dividend metrics look good on paper, but the truth of the matter is, when you think about PetMed Express, right, it's not a company that I think can weather all storms in the future. And what I mean by that is it kind of falls into the consumer discretionary, almost like a specialty sector. PetMed Express offers medication for different types of animals online. So the idea there is that it's cheaper than having brick and mortar locations, and as a result they can offer lower prices. But ultimately, when I think about it, yes, we're always going to have pets, and we're going to have pets with ailing illnesses and medicinal needs. But at the end of the day, I just don't feel like owning PetMed Express is one that I can not worry about in the future. It's going to be one that anytime there's a market correction or there's a big issue, I'm going to think, are they going to cut their dividend? Now, I've never had a dividend cut in my own portfolio, and I'm certainly susceptible to making mistakes and having a dividend cut. I know that that's likely to happen to me at some point in the future. But the truth of the matter is, owning PetMed Express doesn't really align with what the rest of my portfolio looks like. I've got materials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, healthcare in my portfolio, and honestly, the majority of the holdings in my portfolio, if not all of them, I feel confident that if there were a downturn or a correction, I really wouldn't have to worry about it because the fundamentals of the business are so sound and they are companies that are very stable. I don't necessarily feel that way about PetMed Express. And honestly, as I look back in time, I think I might have rushed into that holding for whatever reason. I just felt like I needed to make a decision, and I rushed the process. So the big news here is I have sold my entire holdings of PetMed Express. And just for your awareness, if you remember the Patreon community, I already presented this information to you previously through the Patreon website, so you should already have that information. If you're interested in joining Patreon and getting access to not only just my monthly dividend stock spreadsheets, but also, learning about what I do in my own portfolio when it actually happens, well, then you have to check out the Patreon community. Link is in the description below. You can get started for as low as $5 a month. Okay, so PetMed Express is out. What am I replacing with? Am I staying with just the amount of holdings I have minus PetMed Express, or am I adding a new position? Quick answer here is yes, I've added a new position. Again, the dividend metrics that I feel are important are still important. They're still priorities. I still want to pick up a dividend stock that has a dividend streak of at least 5 consecutive years. I want it to have positive and strong dividend growth rates over the 3, 5, and 10 year, if applicable. And then I also want it to have a dividend yield that's at least 3%. And I'm willing to go down to 3% if I can get a really strong dividend growth rate. And of course, when it comes to payout ratio and dividend safety, we want to see if we can get that below 75%. So as we filter out some of these metrics to make sure we're only looking at quality companies, you can see here right near the top, looking at companies with at least a 10-year streak of paying consecutive and increasing dividends. We've already got companies that I own in my portfolio. Northwest Bank Shares, Star Group Unit, Walgreens Boots Alliance down here, as well as First of Long Island Corporation and MSC Industrial down here. To find the dividend stock that actually is in my portfolio now, you have to come down here to this one right here. Bristol Myers Squibb Company, ticker symbol BMI, which is in the healthcare sector of the economy. It's got a 15-year streak of increasing dividends, which makes it a dividend contender. Current price per share, $59.01. And this is my favorite part about this company. These dividend growth rates. This is the 3, the 5, and the 10-year growth rate. 3-year growth rate is 15%. 5-year growth rate is 16.2%. And the 10-year growth rate, 9.3%. Current yield also is above 3%. 3.32%. And their payout ratio based on free cash flow is only 38%. That tells me that they can continue to grow the dividend at the rate they are already growing it. So what exactly is Bristol Myers Squibb? It is a healthcare / biopharmaceutical company, specifically a global biopharmaceutical company whose mission is to discover, develop, and deliver innovative medicines that help patients prevail over serious diseases. As you can see here, this company in the year ending December 31st, 2020 had total revenues exceeding $42 billion. Now this is a biopharmaceutical company, so that's all about developing medicines that they can sell for a profit. And as it says right here in the annual report, here are some significant product and pipeline approvals that occurred just in 2020 on products including Opdivo, Onureg, Reblozyl, Zeposia, Pomalyst, Riball, and that was just in 2020. Here in 2021, they're also receiving FDA approvals on different drugs as well. The United States made up 26 billion of that 42 billion, whereas Europe made up just under 10 billion. The rest of the world was 5.4 billion. And if we come down here, we can see the diversification in the different product lines and where the revenue is coming from. Top brand here is Revlimid. In the US, it makes up 8.2 billion versus 3.8 outside of the US for a total of 12 billion. Right behind it, we have Eliquis, which makes up 9.1 billion. Then we have Opdivo for 6.9 billion. Orencia for 3.1 billion. Pomalyst and Imnovid, 3 billion. Sprycel at 2.1 billion, so on and so forth here. So we've got quite a bit of diversification across the drugs and products that they are selling. So to sum this all up, guys, I really like Bristol Myers Squibb. I like their current dividend yield. I like their amazing dividend growth rates. I also like the fact that they've been raising dividends consecutively for at least 15 consecutive years. This is a strong and healthy company that continues year over year to increase their free cash flow. That's what I wanted to share with you guys in this video. As a quick reminder, if you want to join the Patreon community, link in the description below. I think you're going to find some massive value there as you make your way through your dividend investing journey. We got new videos coming out next week, every Tuesday and every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're not a member or a subscriber to this channel, you should do that so you are caught up and you know when new videos come out. Make sure to leave your 2 cents in the comments below with this video, guys. I want to know what you guys think. Always open to feedback, whether it's positive or negative, because I want to become a better YouTube creator and add more value to your investing lives. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Have a great rest of your day, and please continue to stay healthy, both physically and financially. Have a good one.